Hey everyone, this is Borvak. I want to do a quick review of Catwoman, issue number 13. And this is part of the Year of the Villain, The Offer. I don't want to say series, because there's just like 1 year of the villain, The Offer. There's like an offer issue for each book, but they're not a series because it's each book. I don't know. But it's Catwoman issue number 13. So it's The Offer, which just means that we know Lex Luthor is going to show up at some point. And it says here, the bloodletting, which again is not the title of the story because I don't know. They always say something on the cover that's not actually the title of the story. But we got Catwoman here with her armpit openings, doing some nice calf stretches, and some people like stabbing themselves and letting out blue blood in the background. Some like little Chinese takeout stuff on the side here, lettering. I don't know. You work those calves, Catwoman. You can do it. So this series continues to have me confused. I have to, because things don't necessarily happen chronologically. But we've got her friend here who she's kind of staying with, but he's like a kid or something. And he's like recording some sort of comic book review on his phone when someone knocks on the door. And then we kind of skip to something else. And Catwoman is kind of trying to escape the guy who helped her steal the relic last issue that she gave the seductive look to. And so he's like, for some reason, thinks that must mean she likes him or something. And she's like, no, I'm a girl, so I'm complicated and stuff. And meanwhile, the guy who was knocking on the door is now beating the kid up. So his comic book review has been interrupted. And he's kind of just kicking him around the place, kicking him around the spiral staircase, punching him a bunch of times. And then the no-face lady walks in and she's like, tell me where I have your aunt. Tell me where you have the relic. And he's like, no. Meanwhile, Catwoman is still looking seductively at this guy who she's saying no to, and then she jumps off a building because she's Catwoman. So the kid is like, okay, you finally beat me up enough, I'll give you the relic. And by this point, he's beat up enough to where he's bloody, so some blood drips on the relic, and it actually, apparently this is some ancient iPhone technology that instead of using like a thumbprint recognition uses like blood, but it can be anyone's blood. It just has to recognize it as blood, and then it'll show you a map as long as there's blood. Why? I don't know. Because comics. So Catwoman finally shows up and she's like, oh, I'm done non-flirting with this guy, so I can actually beat you guys up and help my friend out. Kind of almost this cool thing here, kind of double page spread where she's kind of shows like a kind of grayed out, desaturated version of her and this guy that she's fighting with. She showed just to show that they're moving quickly, and she's kind of kicking him, punching him. He's running away. This actually looks kind of one-sided. So no, he punches her. He does get a hit in. She kicks him back. He chases her. She falls down on purpose so she can kick him in the stomach on the bed, and then throws him off and then jumps down at him. Okay. And then she's going to scratch his face off because she's a cat, and that's what cats do. Meanwhile, the no-face lady gets the relic. Catwoman actually gets stabbed. Oh, dang, I didn't notice that before. There's like a sigh. Is it a scythe or is it a sigh? Or are those two different things? I don't know. I'm going to say scythe. So she gets stabbed with a scythe, and it's like going through her kidney. They're just, mildly irritating. I mean, that happens to me every day, but, if it doesn't, it takes a little getting used to, mild kind of discomfort there. So the no-face lady escapes with the relic. Well, Selena is busy being stabbed, and she does pull out the scythe and decide she's just gonna, take a little break and bleed for a while. The old lady actually, the guy who was beat up by Selena, the old lady actually kicks him out with a broom, which is kind of funny. Meanwhile, the no-face lady's kid, who's actually a politician, who's trying just to be a corrupt politician rather than a mafiosa like she is, she invites him over and then decides that what she's going to do is she's going to murderize him to get more blood so the map will work for longer or something. It'll continue to power the map. So she's so sad in the previous issues that her one kid died and that she resurrected him as a zombie, and then she just kills her other son for some stupid map thing. I don't know. And Selena wakes up and she's like, you know what? I just got stabbed by a scythe through my kidney. So the best way, a doctor said, I need to go ride my motorcycle to make it feel better. So she rides into the night for no reason. And she actually finds the dead, I think she finds the dead politician. And then some weird brainiac ship appears and says, dost thou desire the power? And he's offering Selena Kyle to become a villain with him and get the power that he got from Perpetua that's, going on in the whole Justice League book. Which I think actually is kind of interesting because Selena is historically kind of walking the line, if not an outright villain. I think she started out as just an outright villain, and she still kind of is, for the most part. Not or an anti-hero. I don't know what you want to call her. I mean, she's a thief. Batman's usually trying to stop her when he's not trying to go out with her. She's reformed a couple of times, kind of, I think. But anyway, she's kind of a villain. So Lex Luthor is kind of going at that angle with her. So will she take it? I don't know. I kind of want to know. I'm just an idiot who's actually taken in by this very obvious gimmick. But they could play it either way, I think. So find out what Luthor offers Catwoman in 2 months. But first come back in August for Hermosa Heat Part 1. I gotta wait 2 months to figure out. I don't know if I care about Hermosa Heat Part 1. Is there gonna be... If in 2 months is when we find out whether she took his offer or not, does that mean Hermosa Heat number 2 covers that? Or does that mean there's no Part 2? Or does it mean that we'll find out in the Justice League book? It's probably in this book. I don't know. I'm so confused. Okay. Well, I'm glad next issue is going to be Hermosa Heat number 1. I'm glad to finally finish this storyline with the no-face lady. The storyline's probably not over. I really don't care about her as a villain. But I'm glad to get some closure with a storyline. Again, I've said this before. There's nothing wrong with the Catwoman book. It's technically good. It's just not for me. I want Catwoman to be stealing stuff, running around Gotham City, doing backflips and stealing stuff and fighting other supervillains, and preferably stealing stuff that actually should be stolen. That'd make her a little more likable as opposed to stealing, I don't know, like more of a, I don't know how to describe it, but just this whole complication of the no-face lady murdering her kids and the zombies and the drama and the blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I don't really care. It's confusing. At the same time, I can't say it's a bad book. And in 2 months, I'll be looking forward to seeing, once Catwoman's done stretching out her calves, whether she's going to take the offer. I don't know. So that's all I have to say about the issue, I guess. Let's put this thing in the bag. This issue is in the bag. I'm so funny. There we go. What am I going to grade this? I'm going to grade it a yellow. This is a yellow. In my book. Which it is my book, by the way, because I bought it. I can never... Okay, so... Oh, man, you can't see that. I just ruined the sticker. I, like, folded it instead of sticking it. So exciting. This is the high-quality entertainment you come to this channel for. All right, let's see if I can not fail. Lex Luthor came to me and was like, do you want the power to be able to, like, put stickers on without failing miserably? I'd take it right away. I don't care if that power came from Perpetua. I'd be like, give me that. That's what I'd say. What do you think about this issue? What do you think about Catwoman in general? About Joella Jones's current run? About any of this stuff? Let me know. If you did like anything you saw here, go pick up the issue for yourself. I'm obviously reading it. It's still on my pull list. Dang, I'm qualifying it so much. Go pick up the issue for yourself. If this looked any good to you, you can read it word by word, panel by panel, and page by page for yourself instead of having to rely on my weird opinions to tell you what to think, although you should totally do that too. And then, in doing so, you can support your local comic shop. If you don't know where your local comic shop is, you can find out online pretty easily. If there is no shop that is local to you, there are shops online that you can find that will ship to you. So even if it's not local to you, you can still be supporting someone's local comic shop. And if you're into digital, there's always Comixology and Amazon as well. Support what you love. That's the best way to guarantee it'll be there for you in the future. And just like I will be there for you in the future, because I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.